21 Sports brings you Great Plains Athletic Conference College football. Today it's the Nebraska Wesleyan University Prairie Wolves hosting the Mustangs of Morningside College. This game is made possible by Lincoln Electric System. Use LES to save more. Union Bank, you belong here. And Nebraska Wesleyan University, where experience is the difference. Your experience.
A spectacular night for college football in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a game under the lights here in GPAC action between the number 4th ranked Morningside Mustangs and the Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Moats along with Lucas Moorman here on 21 Sports. When we talk about Nebraska Wesleyan here so far this season, the one thing that really stands out is the special teams play.
Yeah, part of that is Cody Eiler in the return game. He's averaging 19.3 yards on punt returns, 3rd in the nation. He's 11th in the nation on kickoff returns, almost 30 yards each kickoff return. So they're getting good field position with the return game of Cody Eiler. And Cody Eiler also one of those players on that defense that really can lay the hammer down along with Brett Kotzer.
You know, Brett Kotzer's a guy through 2 games is averaging 11.5 tackles. That's pretty impressive for the senior out of Ewing. And when you talk about the defense, they've only allowed less than 100 yards rushing per game here, only through the first 2 games of the season. Last week it was only 92 against Midland.
92 total yards against Midland, only 45 rushing yards a game. Really the top-ranked rushing defense, but they'll go up against the top-ranked rushing offense tonight in Morningside, and they're doing it under the direction of a new quarterback.
And that new quarterback is Joel Nixon. He comes in here after having a year off from play. He was hurt last year. 2 years ago, he was playing wide receiver for the Mustangs, but so far moved over to the quarterback spot this season. In fact, he is the Offensive Player of the Week in the GPAC.
That's right. He's putting up great numbers. He had 83 catches as a wide receiver for Morningside, and now he's doing it on the offensive side of the ball. Last time he played quarterback for that quarterback period was when he had back-to-back titles at Wakefield High School in Nebraska.
That was back in 2006 and in 2007. Tonight, it's a game under the lights for the first time in 4 years here at Able Stadium. Nebraska Wesleyan will play a night game. They have not had a lot of luck on the night side as far as playing games against other opponents in the GPAC. 5-5 altogether in the last 10 games they've played under the lights. Last time they won a game here at Able Stadium under the lights, 2006 in the season opener against Briarcliff, winning 42-3. Their last loss under the lights was up at Sioux Falls just 2 seasons ago. Should be interesting for GPAC football tonight. Morningside and Nebraska Wesleyan to kick things off here in just a few moments. Back with more after this on 21 Sports.
I'm Fred Olds, president of Nebraska Wesleyan University. This year we mark an important milestone, Nebraska Wesleyan's 125th anniversary. Join us on campus this fall for our anniversary kickoff celebration and homecoming activities. In addition, our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends will collectively take on a challenge to give 12,500 hours of volunteer time to community service. Check our website for event schedules, stories, and photos of today and yesteryear. All of us who share a sense of pride and ownership in Nebraska Wesleyan University have a wonderful opportunity this year to reconnect with friends, students, professors, and staff, and to celebrate all that we have accomplished together. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Your life is what you make of it. In Lincoln, some are making it fun, some are making it successful, others are making it vibrant, refreshing, economical, creative, interesting. They're making Lincoln home. So, make it young, make it a family, make it a booming career, make it whatever makes you happy. Make your life right in Lincoln.
Dr. R.E. Cycle here with a garbology lesson straight from the front page. There's a right way to recycle newsprint. Never put newspapers in the mixed paper bin at recycling drop-off sites. You don't have to be a genius like me to know that sorting takes extra time and money. So remember these doctor's orders and put newspapers and mixed papers in separate recycling bins. For more tips, visit recycle.lincoln.ne.gov.
It's just surprising when I walk in how much it feels like home, even though we've only been here a month.
Having a baby is a definite lifestyle change. Grayson's the boss around here.
We moved in 2 days before he was born. Union Bank really helped us. They were so personable. They really got to know our story and care that we needed to get into the house before the baby was born.
We're starting a family and developing our lives together in a place that we can call home.
Back here on 21 Sports, along with Lucas Mormon, I'm Jeff Moats. Glad to have you here for GPAC football as Nebraska Wesleyan and Morningside, who comes into Lincoln ranked 4th in the country, will take on the Prairie Wolves. Last time that these two teams met was kind of interesting. This was up in Sioux City last year, in which the Prairie Wolves took home a victory.
Yeah, and the Prairie Wolves, the only team in the GPAC to have a regular season win against the Morningside, other than Sioux Falls, here lately in the GPAC, as they've been a powerhouse qualifying for the NAIA playoffs. Morningside, that is, back since 2005.
In 14 of the previous 26 meetings between Nebraska Wesleyan and Morningside, the game has resulted in one team being shut out. In fact, Morningside has posted 10 shutouts against Wesleyan, with the Mustangs having been shut out only 4 times. There you see Nate Hopman running off to the sideline here. Hopman, a veteran of this Nebraska Wesleyan football team out of Millard West. He's a senior at 6 foot, 205 pounds. And he will be the starting quarterback in this game tonight, facing off against Joel Nixon. There you see some of the fine fans that made it out here. And the current game time temperature, 76 degrees, a light breeze. Perfect night for football here in Lincoln.
You talked about Nate Hopman tonight looking for a bounce-back game. He had kind of a rough game against Midland last week. 3 interceptions, and really looked like maybe they were going to win the game going into that final drive, and an interception where he tried to throw it away, and they tiptoed the sidelines and were able to bring it in. So he's looking for that bounce-back performance. You know, and he's back out here, 3rd game after that injury, which sidelined him most of the season last season. So he's looking to get back on track. And he got on track last year against the then 3rd-ranked Morningside Mustangs. So the ranking, last couple times these guys have played, not really that much of an issue. Morningside are getting upset by the Prairie Wolves up there last year, and a great game for Nate Hopman.
There you see Ty Litzen, who will kick away to get this thing opened up here at Able Stadium. And back to return are Cody Eiler and Jordan Delbaugh for Wesleyan. They're hanging around the 1-yard line, and here we go, a driving end-over-end kick. And Delbaugh picks it up in the end zone, and that will be a touchback as he takes a knee in the end zone. And so the Prairie Wolves will start out like this as we head to our starting lineups. And among those would be the quarterback, Nate Hopman, the senior out of Millard West. There you see Jordan Delbaugh in the middle. He'll be the running back. Lovell back there with him too. The receivers, you've got Pieper, Tyfault, and Clausen, the tight end. And there you see the line. Barteldis, Blocker, Armstrong, BB, and Byerly. That makes up the line for the Prairie Wolves, and so they will start out in an I formation with one receiver split each side here on 1st and 10. And here is a toss. It looks like it goes to Dustin Bryant, who comes in, and he will be in there as the tailback as he got the toss that time. And we'll take a look now at the Morningside defense. Mustangs look like this. Waddle right there. Dornbos, Smith also in there too. There you see Elliott, Roberg, Cavillo, and Johnson are the linebackers. And the backs, Henderson, Rickard, Boger, and Goforth.
Pretty nice defensive backfield there. Goforth, and back there he's a difference maker, as is Henderson.
Draw back pass from Hopman. It is complete. Reception made there by Tyfault. It's enough for a first down and gets up to about the 39-yard line, still in Prairie Wolf territory, so a little bit of balance here. We saw a running play right out of the chute, and then a quick pass play to Tyfault, and that gives the Prairie Wolves a first down.
They'd like to be a little more balanced. You know, they're not real big at the tight end spot or that fullback spot, so they do go with a little bit more of a wing look here and there. They sprinkle in. Bryant's kind of emerged as that guy in the backfield. You'll still see Delbaugh and Earhart and some sweeps as you see this flex bone look from him this time.
A couple of men in the slot. Hopman's going to keep it, but not for long. He's quickly wrapped up and stopped. And it's Aaron Roberger comes in to make the tackle. And that will be for a loss of yards back at the Wesleyan 36.
Good penetration by the defensive line that time, and Roberg even shot through from his linebacker spot. He's one you'll have to contend with all day at linebacker. 6 foot, 225-pound junior. Cavillo back there as well. He's always in the play. He's Morningside's version of a Brett Kotzer. You want to look for the football, find Cavillo.
Second down and long here. Hotman facing pressure. Short screen toss. It is incomplete. It was intended to go that time to the receiver, which is Brooks Earhart, a sophomore out of Platteview High School, out of Springfield, Nebraska.
And defensively, Rickard was in here just a thorn in the side of that little screen play. Did a nice job to shed his block and cause a little traffic that time, and a little too much for them to hang on to it. Also in there for Morningside, causing a little fly in the ointment was Gibbs from his linebacker spot.
So this will be third and long again, back at the 36. Prairie Wolves will send 2 wideouts far side, 1 near side, 1 in the slot on the left. Bryant in the backfield with Hotman out of the gun. Hotman airs it out downfield, and it is complete. Tyfolt says he got it, and it is a first down at the Morningside 40-yard line.
That was just great concentration by Tyfolt that time. I thought he had kind of given up on the route, and then he found a little extra gear here. As you see, he cuts towards the middle on that flag route. Able to hold on, jockeying for position. Hotman takes a little bit of a hit, but delivers the ball. And a big pass play for Tyfolt. Moves the chains again. This Nebraska Wesleyan offense has something working here early on.
Getting some balance here early on. Even though Morningside has been blitzing, they've been quick into the backfield. From the Morningside 40, 1st and 10, Delbaugh in motion. Here's Hotman. Out to Delbaugh, far side flat. And the catch will be complete as he slips to the turf at the 34-yard line. So a pickup of 6 for Jordan Delbaugh. Another one of those veterans that we've talked about time and time again that's been such an impact on this Nebraska Wesleyan football team.
Well, in a very many different ways, Jeff. He does it special teams wise. You know, he runs out of the slot here so far this season. Hasn't got a ton of carries, but you got to account for him when he's out there. Such a dangerous player.
Hotman sends trips to the near side. Bryant gets the handoff as he tries to go right side, but is stuffed back at the 35-yard line, so about a 1-yard loss.
That's Cavillo again, running right into the teeth of that Morningside defense. And the D-line of Morningside doing a good job occupying their blockers, and that really lets those linebackers flow free to the ball. And that time, Cavillo came up in run support and filled nicely, dropping Bryant for a very short gain.
So this will make it 3rd and 5. Right at the 35-yard line of Morningside. 11 minutes and counting here in this first quarter at Able Stadium. Out of the eye. Hotman dropping back in the pocket. Swing toss near side intended for the receiver that time, which was Nick Lovell. Goes incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
That's pretty good coverage downfield the entire time. Not a lot of options for Hotman there. I think Lovell was the primary target, trying to leak him out of the backfield, hoping he went unaccounted for, but right there was Rickard. And that'll bring on Vandenberg to punt. And another solid area for the Wesleyan Prairie Wolves. Have been their punting game this way here. Vandenberg almost 45 yards of punt. He's pinned him inside the 20 7 times already.
Here is the snap, and Vandenberg with the boot. High spiraling kick. And that will take a bounce outside, deep in Morningside territory. And they will mark it at the 6-yard line. So a good punt from Kelby Vandenberg, as you mentioned, averaging 45 yards per punt. He was named last week's Beyond Sports Network NAIA Punter of the Week.
Vandenberg settled in nicely last year in that role. And so even there, where he just didn't necessarily have to boom one, but he had to be very accurate with it, not let it get back for the touchback, pins him right back inside the 6. And that's where this Nebraska Wesleyan defense, this is where you want to see them go to work.
So now Morningside with the football at their own 6, 1st and 10. We'll see Joel Nixon work out of the gun. And it looks like Jones gets the carry. And Jones tries to push ahead and gets up to about the 6-yard line. In fact, it was just right at the line of scrimmage. And let's see the Morningside offense. We talked about Nixon. He is the quarterback. There you see Jones, the running back. McCabe is the fullback for the Mustangs. And then we look ahead here to the receivers. There you see Shuck, Hantelman, and Klett. Here's Jones on second down. Jones pushing ahead, getting behind a block, stopped at about the 12-yard line. There you see the line, Steinberg, Brummer. There's Dam and Long and Albright. That makes up the line for Morningside. There you see Fred Jones. So 3rd and 4. This will be marked at the 13-yard line of Morningside. And now we got penalty flags coming out.
Looks like it might be on Nebraska Wesleyan.
Might be offside.
Well,
the line judge came running in from the near side of the field. Let's get the word from Randy Hagedorn, the head official.
On the defense, number 94. That's a 5-yard penalty. Results of play, first down.
Latimer, the sophomore, who's been having a dynamite season so far. That time, I don't know if he nudged the football or if he had contact with another player. In order to draw the flag on the dead ball situation, it almost had to be that, and that's unfortunate. An easy first down.
Here's Nixon to air it out downfield, has a receiver, caught at the 45, all the way down the near sideline, 10-5 touchdown. And it's Colby Henderson, the senior out of Wakefield, and these two guys very familiar with each other. Both were teammates at Wakefield High, and they connect once again to get on the scoreboard.
Well, Coach Ryan, a little wrinkle there, throws his defensive back, who used to be teammates back in the high school days, Colby Henderson, with Nixon. Throw him in there at a wide receiver spot, let him go over the top of the coverage here, just had it beat all the way, had a yard or two, and all the way in for a touchdown. So Henderson, a little on the defense and the offense.
So Ty Litzen will attempt the extra point. Snap the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. So we got just under 9.5 minutes to go. First quarter here from Able Stadium. And Morningside strikes first. They're up 7-0 on Wesleyan on 21 Sports.
Hi, Ryan here with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy. And this right here is Lincoln Electric System's fancy new website, kilowatchers.com. Kilowatt watcher. Anyway, it provides one-stop shopping where you can learn how to save money and energy, as well as reduce your impact on the environment. You'll find stuff like newsletters, brochures, and energy efficiency calculators where you can evaluate the appliances and heating and cooling systems in your house. So visit kilowatchers.com today and kilowatch your savings add up. No? Really? See you next time.
Of the year.
Second touchdown pass of the year from Colby Henderson. 82-yard toss from Joel Nixon to Henderson. And just like that, Morningside strikes on their first drive. They're now up 7-0 here, 9:24 remaining in this first quarter here at Able Stadium. I'm Jeff Moats along with Lucas Mormon and the rest of our 21 Sports crew with you. Saturday night football here in Lincoln. And Morningside will kick away. End over ender. Going into the end zone, picked up by Cody Eiler. Takes a knee. And the Prairie Wolves will take over here.
You know, Eiler's a dangerous return guy, and, you know, maybe last year you see a little more of Eiler bringing that out 5 yards deep, but they had that extra 5 yards to get a start at 25 now on touchbacks on the kickoffs, and really almost negates some of that explosiveness of Cody Eiler when teams can get it 5 yards deep into the end zone, where in the past, you know, he might bring that out, able to get to the 20 easily himself, but this year maybe we'll see a few less returns from Eiler, but explosive that he is, I think you'll see him start bringing some of those out.
Here's a toss. Bryant gets it on 1st and 10 from the 25, and he is quickly tackled at the 26-yard line.
You know, it's going to be tough sledding on the rushing attack as well for Nebraska Wesleyan. You know, we talked about their defense, tops in the GPAC against the run. Well, Morningside not too far behind. They're allowing just 59 yards a game on the ground to their opponents. Wesleyan holding under 100 in the year, but so you got the top two rushing defenses going at it this evening.
Second down here and 9. This is at the 26. Hopman working out of the gun. Earhart in motion, fake to him. And now Bryant gets it, and he is quickly tackled. This will be for a loss of yards. Roughly 3 back at about the 23-yard line. So 3rd and long coming up here for the Prairie Wolves as they having a little bit of difficulty trying to get this offense in motion. Looked like their first drive, though. Looked solid to start out.
And offense, if you look at last week's score, 7-3, obviously offense is a little tough to come by for this Nebraska Wesleyan squad. Now, some turnovers did hurt last week. They struggled in the first contest, only 48 total yards in the first half against St. Mary. So they're really struggling to find their identity.
Out of the spread, it's 3rd down. Pass tipped up in the air, incomplete.
I think there's going to be some personal foul here, probably a little late hit. We'll see what referee Randy Agnorn has to say.
That's a pass. It's could have gone. We have personal foul. Watch the pass on the defense. Number 11. It's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
So the Prairie Wolves get a break. By the way, that last pass was intended to the freshman Corey Jones. And there you see that on the replay, Jones trying to catch that ball. So roughing the passer against Morningside. And so Nebraska Wesleyan will have it at their own 38-yard line. New set of downs here.
Cavillo, the guilty party that time, again from his linebacker spot, coming up just a little too much. Second leading tackler on the season for Morningside. And here's that flex bone look. They try and get Jones and Delbaugh in there, all their weapons. Earhart.
Pitch to Jones, left side. Tries to cut back in, and he is stopped right at the line. So no gain at the 38. Corey Jones, a freshman from Lincoln Northeast, just up the street from here. And Jones had a pretty good high school career at Northeast. Worked as an option-style quarterback.
Jones was one of those, I don't call you a surprise, but one of those in fall camp in that first week, Coach Keller had a lot of great things to say about him. Really liked his fall camp, knew they were going to try and get him the ball in some spots, and that flex bone lets that happen. Sean Elliott last time, though, but against this Morningside defense, good sideline to sideline speed. It's tough.
Hopman's pass far side goes incomplete. Larson was the intended receiver. And coverage over there from Morningside's Darius Hicks. So this will be 3rd and 10. There you see Nate Hopman, the senior out of Omaha from Millard West High School. Just trying to get some offense going here. Still plenty of time left in this first quarter. 7:17 as you see. And double wide outs each side here for Hopman. Hopman looking to throw. Far side goes incomplete. Looking upfield that time. Looked like he was trying to go to Justin Murr, who's another freshman out of Northeast.
And Hopman took a shot that time, kind of double pumped, was able to get the pass off, but Keith Waddle, a senior from Wahoo, 5'10", 230 pounds, laid the wood that time as he upended Hopman at the end of that play, planted him squarely in the turf. Hopman popped right back up, though. Good to see.
Vandenberg back to punt. Had a nice booming kick earlier. Here comes another one. High spiraling kick. Picked up at the 14 on the return. Here comes Jared Goforth, and Goforth is stopped across the 25 at the 26.
Good coverage that time. When a punt like that, sometimes it's almost too good of a punt. Goforth, a dangerous return man in his own right. That time Kotzer comes down there, helps wrap things up in special teams.
So Morningside back out here with 7 minutes left on the clock. One of the top offenses you're going to see here in this GPAC conference.
And you know, the media poll and the coaches poll early in the season was split on whether Northwestern and Morningside was going to be the top of this conference. And Morningside in the early season matchup with Northwestern.
Josh Gatke with the carry that time. Steve Ryan is the head coach at Morningside. 11th season and pretty impressive record at 87-30 in 11 years.
And he's trailing one of the other coaches in the conference up here in the box beside us, Keith Keller, our Coach Keller. right up there in career wins. Those two are the Dean of GPAC coaches right now. So Coach Ryan has something going. He is a former GPAC coach in the booth, and Brad Poles is offensive coordinator.
Nixon airs it out downfield again. Pass is caught at the 40, down inside the 20, and finally tackled from behind inside the 15-yard line. Catch made by Joel McCabe, the junior from Jefferson, South Dakota. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 12-yard line of Nebraska Wesleyan. So Nixon goes to the air again on another big pass play.
Well, and that was maybe the knock on Nixon as he sells the double move there at the pump fake and then unloads a beautiful ball. But again, easily beat the coverage over the top that time for Nebraska Wesleyan. Out there was Richards. But, Nixon maybe a little rusty through the air. That was the hope after not playing quarterback for quite some time. But he's showing today that he can put some touch on the deep ball.
Gadke in the backfield. He gets the handoff from Nixon. And wrapped up. Tackled that time. Wesleyan getting a hand on him. Brandon Reeves coming over from the linebacker spot. Got some help from David Jennings.
Reeves been a nice contributor early on to this Nebraska Wesleyan defense. Again, with the linebackers making some play. When you get guys like Russell Walton up front and Phil Latimer who've been handling some of that load, really allows the linebackers to come free and make some plays.
From the 9. It's a keeper by Nixon. Nixon gets out of a tackle before Eiler gets to him and forces him out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Seth Wardeen came running in and had him right in his grasp, but Nixon was able to get free, and then Eiler comes in to knock him out. There you see it here in the replay.
Well, Nixon has some speed. Has shown that he can run the ball this year as well. As Nixon, 116 yards. Rushing the ball. Now his net isn't so hot because he has taken a few sacks, but 93 yards rushing.
Big third down play here for Morningside. Gadke gets the handoff. Gadke is stopped short at about the 3. He may be just short of getting the first down.
Fought forward, second effort. He's depending on the spot. He'll be very close. They're going to say full
he's
half
short.
a yard.
Yep.
Maybe a yard.
So fourth down and 1 yard to go.
I was just going to say, if I know Coach Ryan, he's going to line up and go for it. Coach Ryan, not afraid to take that risk, faith in his backs and his line, but I think Nebraska Wesleyan did the job.
Did they stop him? It's going to be close, so the officials stop the clock.
This is a big spot right here is what it is.
And I wonder if they're going to have to bring the chains out to see if he was anywhere close. I think they're going to. So Randy Hagedorn, the head official, will call the timeout, and he'll bring the chain gang out to see if they can figure out how close the ball is to a first down.
I tell you, it's going to be real close. And
Let's
from our
see.
angle, I can't call it.
Ooh, let's see. This might be
short.
It's short. A big stop there from the Wesleyan defense. That's humongous.
That's a huge momentum shift there. Even if you only maybe pick up enough to get out of here and get a punt, you've changed the field position a little bit, and 14-0 is really tough to overcome if you're down to these Mustangs early. Keep them out of the end zone here, get a chance to get that offense on track.
So now the Prairie Wolves have the ball as they take over on downs. It will be at the 3-yard line. So Wesleyan will have to try to execute something to really give them some breathing room, get out of that deep part of their own half of the field. And so they will go with one receiver each side. And a new quarterback in, looks like Tyler Francis is the new quarterback for Nebraska Wesleyan. Gives it a toss over to Bryant. Bryant stumbles ahead, and he gets past the 5 up to the 6-yard line. Tyler Francis is a transfer from Peru State. He is from Northeast. He went to Northeast. A graduate back in 2010. He was a quarterback for the Rockets. And so.
And he had a decent year with Peru State as well.
Yep. Played for the Bobcats and making the switch back up here to Lincoln. So Francis, with 3.5 minutes and counting here in this first quarter, commanding this offense, 2nd and 7. This is at the 6 of Nebraska Wesleyan, the I formation.
Just 5 to snap it here, Jeff.
And a man in motion. Play action here. Francis is in trouble, gets out of the end zone, breaks free, gets up to about the 8-yard line where he is tackled. And you think about it, it's about a 2-yard pickup from where they were at. But that was troublesome for him just for a moment because
it's not so much that 2-yard pickup that's the bright spot on that play. It's the fact that he didn't get brought down for the safety.
Right.
Because 2 yards in the beginning of that play looked like it was going to be 2 points for Morningside. Did a nice job of avoiding the rush, sliding through it, and then knew that he just had to get some forward momentum, get across that goal line, and ends up picking up 2. A manageable 3rd and 4 here. Granted, your playbook's somewhat limited, backed up against your own end zone.
So Francis will spread it out. Triples to the far side, doubles to the near side. Out of the gun. And now we got flags coming out.
Delay. I don't think he got the snap off in time.
It was a delay of game.
New quarterback out there his first series. Tough spot to be in, backed up in your own goal line, but it's the delay there, and that's probably just part of not being out there running that offense on an everyday basis. Poor timing. And it seems like the flags never come when you want them to.
So they go to the line. Triples to the far side again, doubles to the near side. Same formation as before. And Francis loses the football and jumping onto the end zone. Morningside says they got it. And it is a touchdown. And coming up with that ball for Morningside happened to be Marcus Smith. And so Francis bobbled the ball off the snap. And Smith comes running in, jumps on top of it right in the end zone. And that gives Morningside another 6 on the scoreboard with a point after coming up.
Not only was there the bobble on the snap, but Smith came in almost untouched off that left side. That coupled with the poor snap, not necessarily a poor snap, but poorly handled. There's the extra point.
The kick is up, and it is good. 1:55 to go, and there you see Marcus Smith coming in and jumping on top of the ball in the end zone to give Morningside another 6. They lead at 14-0 on 21 Sports.
Dr. R.E. Cycle here with a simple but important message. Recycling starts at home. That's right, it's up to you to take the first step. Setting up a home recycling system is easy, and you don't need much space. Find out how at recycle.lincoln.ne.gov. Recycling is good for our community and our planet, and you don't need to be a genius like me to get started. So do the right thing, the recycle thing.
$14-0, Nebraska Wesleyan trailing Morningside. Just under 2 minutes remaining here in this first quarter. I'm Jeff Moats along with Lucas Moorman. 21 Sports proud to bring you once again Nebraska Wesleyan football. And so just like that, Morningside capitalizing on a miscue from Wesleyan as they jump on the ball in the end zone.
Second recovery on the season already for Marcus Smith. This one gets him on the board.
End over end kick, and Delbaugh will return it out of the end zone. All the way up to the 15. Spins around off of one tackle, but hit hard at about the 28-yard line. And that was that was Shane Bradley who came in. Shane Bradley was the guy that came in that hit Delbaugh on that return at the 28. Now for Nebraska Wesleyan, you're in much better field positioning than you were here just a little while ago, even though you forced a fourth down situation with Morningside. They couldn't convert on fourth down. You get the ball deep, you have trouble getting up there out of the cellar, and now you're in a better spot to where you can work some offense.
Hopman back in there at the quarterback spot as well. So Francis, the opportunity down there, and I don't know if you want to call that an opportunity when you're backed up on your own, go against your own goal line like that last series, but they'll go back with Hopman and see what he can do this series.
Hopman throws, pass is complete, and it's Corey Jones with the reception at the 36-yard line, a pickup of about 8. And Jones, the freshman, with a nice grab there, tackled that time by Jared Goforth.
Yeah, nice grab in traffic and went up and got that one, and Jones, showing a versatile player, can catch the ball out of the backfield. They'll run some of those sweeps to him and Goforth, all G-Pack performer, bring him down the backfield. And see what Hopman has go as the shadows start to creep a little further across the field here in Lincoln.
Jones in motion here on second down. And a handoff that time. And the ball going nowhere. Taylor Stockcamp looked like he was the guy that took the carry that time. He's a senior.
Stockcamp filled in nicely last year. Had some nice games as they're trying to find their go-to guy in the backfield, and Delball was banged up, and it seems like the last couple of seasons it's just been running back by committee.
Well,
not just one or two guys, 4, 5, 6. They just cannot stay healthy back there or find their guy.
Dustin Bryant comes to mind too. He was at least a year ago was pitted to be the starter, but he went through some injury troubles a year ago. We've seen him a couple of times already tonight. Third down here, Hopman throwing a pass. It is complete to Jones, past the 40, and he's tackled and wrangled down by Goforth. And a late flag coming in. They'll mark him down at the 48-yard line, but a late flag coming in against perhaps Morningside. Let's see what they decide here. But Corey Jones with a great catch.
Talk it over there, and might be a face mask here at the end of this one. But Jones, again, coming out of the backfield in that slot position. Good job settling in between the coverage this time, and yeah, I think he got a hold of that.
Play, Jones play, 1st and 10, Nebraska Wesleyan.
Real speed, it was tough to tell if he had a hold of the mat, the actual iron or not, but looked like that head might have came around a little bit, but they'll say they'll wave it off. Either way, a great catch by Jones and a first down, moving the chains here for Nebraska Wesleyan.
So time is winding out here, and the Prairie Wolves will just let the clock run out here in this first quarter. And Morningside has come in here, and they have made some noise early on offense. And have maintained at least a 2-touchdown lead. There you see the first play on that reception made by Colby Henderson. That was an 82-yard toss for a touchdown early. And then a little while ago, Tyler Francis in at quarterback could not handle the snap, and Marcus Smith comes running in for Morningside, jumps on the ball in the end zone and gives them another 6. 14-0 Morningside after one. Second quarter coming up in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Fred Olds, president of Nebraska Wesleyan University. This year we mark an important milestone, Nebraska Wesleyan's 125th anniversary. Join us on campus this fall for our anniversary kickoff celebration and homecoming activities. In addition, our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends will collectively take on a challenge to give 12,500 hours of volunteer time to community service. Check our website for event schedules, stories, and photos of today and yesteryear. All of us who share a sense of pride and ownership in Nebraska Wesleyan University have a wonderful opportunity this year to reconnect with friends, students, professors, and staff, and to celebrate all that we have accomplished together. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Second quarter here at Able Stadium. 14-0 Morningside ahead of Nebraska Wesleyan. And Nate Hopman on 1st and 10 here from the 48-yard line. Little play action. Toss is complete, and it's Jordan Delbaugh who comes up with a big catch at the 40-yard line of Morningside and a first down.
I thought it was going to sail high. Delbaugh able to go up there in the route, pick it up right in front of Goforth. Hopman kind of thrown off the back foot that time, but still is able to get it out to Delbaugh. He's not doing it in the running game. He's either blocking a kick or returning a block PAT, the senior from Englewood, Colorado. Doing a nice job there in the pattern. One of the top receivers so far for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Pieper, the wide out to the far side. Larson is to the near side. Delbaugh in motion. He's one of the slot men going to the far side. Hopman throws a pass, and it goes incomplete, almost an interception for Chris Cavillo. And it was intended, I think, to go to Brooks Earhart, who immediately put the wrap on Cavillo as we watch this again.
Became a defensive back real quick there. Into double coverage, not really anywhere for Hopman to fit that ball. Right there was Cavillo, but give him some credit, Earhart, for preventing the interception. Nate Hopman, owes him one right there, big time, as Earhart did a great job knocking it free. Otherwise, DeVio could have still been running.
And now timeout taken by Nebraska Wesleyan. Did not.
Nebraska Wesleyan, their first charge timeout of the half.
The Prairie Wolves will take a timeout. We will as well. 14-0. Morningside on 21 Sports.
It's just surprising when I walk in how much it feels like home, even though we've only been here a month.
Having a baby is a definite lifestyle change. Grayson's the boss around here.
We moved in 2 days before he was born. Union Bank really helped us. They were so personable. They really got to know our story and care that we needed to get into the house before the baby was born.
We're starting a family and developing our lives together in a place that we can call home.
Back here at Able Stadium, here on 21 Sports, and the Prairie Wolves students in such big-time school spirit tonight. They came out here to root on their beloved home team and take on the number 4 team in the country. That timeout called by Wesleyan. Now we want to mention too that Coach Brian Keller is up in the booth this year. He's right next door to us. John Larson, the quarterback's coach, is the one that signals in the plays, and he's the one that's calling the timeouts to relay that message. Hopman's pass almost intercepted again, and that time it was Aaron Roberg who almost had a pick there. So third down coming up here for the Prairie Wolves, still at the 40-yard line of Morningside.
As Hopman that time, more often than not, when you roll one way or move, he's going left that time, stops, tries to throw back across his body. That's just a recipe for disaster, and that time Roberg almost came up with a pick, back-to-back plays with almost interceptions as Hopman got to clean up that decision-making just a little bit, trying to force it into some spots that just aren't there.
Hopman looking to throw through behind Earhart a little bit, incomplete. That'll bring up fourth down, and the punting unit will come out.
Hopman, had a little bit of a rough week last week. I said 3 interception. He was 14 of 26 in that contest. In the first quarter, Hopman was 6 of 10 for 54 yards, so he hit some targets, but Vandenberg has been the savior here in the punt department, pinning him inside the 20 a couple times.
And that thing will take a trip right into the end zone. So the automatic touchback for Morningside. Vandenberg with another big booming kick. Third time tonight, at least, that we've seen him come out on special teams.
Well, that's great. Vandenberg's a great punter, and he does an awesome job. And I know Coach Keller probably as well. I sit in some of the GPAC meetings, and I know the coaches, they almost sometimes joke. They're like, well, I got it. My punter's great, and he does a great job, and he hears his rankings. I wish I didn't have to nominate him because I wish we never had to punt, but that time sent it into the end zone. Maybe should have angled it out of bounds as special teams coach down there talking it over with him. But now this defense needs to go back to work. Come over the turnover, try and turn the tide here a little bit.
Fred Jones takes the handoff, and a penalty flag comes in, and ball will be whistled dead. Jones is stopped.
Yeah, that one's going to come back.
Holding offense number 37. It'll be 10-yard penalty, and we'll replay first down.
So the ball will come back and will be moved back all the way to the 11-yard line. It will be first and long here for Morningside.
Tyler Sinzaba, the guilty party, that J-back Morningside, their offense. They run a couple positions they call their J-back, and that time Sinzaba was the guilty party.
So they'll set up their line here. Got a man in the slot in the motion too. Roll, toss is complete at about the 14-yard line. Reception made by Tyler Sinzaba, and he is forced out of bounds. Michael Hittner over there to help make the stop. Hittner working out of that secondary for Nebraska Wesleyan. one of the safeties out there in the back. And so it will be 2nd and long again, still for Morningside. It's at their own 16. Here's Nixon, play action, looking to throw. Pass is going to be what? Complete. And it will be a catch made at the 30-yard line. Reception made that time by Alex Dow. Make that Joel McCabe.
Lots of time back there for Nixon. Fits the ball in between the coverage. McCabe, nice job going down low. Keep that one from hitting the turf. Sliding in, making the catch for McCabe. That's a big first down if that holding penalty initially set them back all the way at their own 11.
So they recover. Doubles to the far side, man in motion now for Morningside. That is Shuck. And Shuck gets it. And Seth Wardine comes in, wraps him up and tackles him. Got some help that time.
Wardine, an all GPAC performer last year, second team.
Brandon Reeves also helping out in that stop.
Nothing but a long handoff that time. Little wide receiver screen out there. Wardine did a good job bottling it up, fighting off his block. So Russell Franklin, or Walton from Franklin, really drawing some attention on that front line. Some double teams coming on him quite often.
And Gadke gets the handoff. He is stopped at the 38-yard line. 2 yards short of getting the first down.
Latimer in there on the tackle that time. And Latimer benefits from playing alongside Russell Walton. As I said, you see a lot of double teams here early on Russell Walton. That frees up Phil Latimer from his spot to do a little damage as well. And he's done a nice job so far this season. Latimer, one of the leaders for the Nebraska Wesleyan defense in tackles.
Big third down here for Morningside.
There's no back here for Nixon on 3rd and short. But, you know, he has the capability to run it himself. And he didn't get it off.
And likely going to be a delay of game penalty. No, timeout.
I think the sideline.
Your first charge timeout of the half.
So just before the play clock ran out, Morningside calls timeout. It's 14-0 Mustangs over the Prairie Wolves on 21 Sports.
Your life is what you make of it. In Lincoln, some are making it fun, some are making it successful, others are making it vibrant, refreshing, economical, creative, interesting. They're making Lincoln home. So, make it young, make it a family, make it a booming career, make it whatever makes you happy. Make your life right in Lincoln.
Morningside calling the timeout. Did not like the formation they were set up in. They had everybody going out on 3rd and 2.
Well, not only that, Nixon was aware of it, but he was going to try and get that play off, and it was 2 when he realized he needed to hurry up on the play clock, and I don't think he was going to get off, so the sideline said, we'll get something going ourselves.
And he'll keep it and tries to push ahead. Did he get the first down? Looks like he may have reached that mark. So he stopped at the 40-yard line. It looks like it will be enough for a first down as they uncover the pile.
Wouldn't at all be surprised if that was very similar to the play they were probably going to run. As like I say, Nixon has that ability, a former wide receiver and a good runner. Tuck it up, keep it yourself, spread the Nebraska Wesleyan defense out, create a few more gaps. Only needed 2 yards, picked him up easily, got it by about half a yard that time.
11 minutes and counting. Mustangs moving the ball to midfield. It's 1st and 10 at their own 40. Play action, downfield, ball up in the air, incomplete. Cody Eiler with great coverage that time on Colby Henderson as Nixon was looking to hook up with Henderson again.
So we see Henderson going both ways. Here's the long ball. Eiler back there in coverage and did a great job timing that, getting in the face of Henderson. The safety helped that time, bit on the play fake, so it was Eiler out there all alone. Came up with the big play, 2nd and 10.
Still at the 40. Swing pass far side, it is complete. And McCabe is going to be forced out of bounds by Seth Wardeen. Just short of the first down at about the 49-yard line.
Tried to tiptoe that sideline, stepped out about a yard and a half shy of that first down. McCabe showed he can make a nice diving catch earlier. Coming back to the ball this time, they get it out there, try and let him do a little work in space down the sideline. Now two backs this time in the backfield for Nixon and the Morningside Mustangs.
Shuck the receiver to the near side, handoff going to Gadke and Seth Wardeen and Michael Hittner and a few others over there to meet up with Gadke to make the stop.
That was one of the best pushes we've seen by the Nebraska Wesleyan defensive front that time. Got into the backfield, drove their defenders back there. There was nowhere for Gadke to run that time. They plugged all the holes. And then Wardeen filled nicely from that safety spot. Maybe the first punt of the night for Morningside.
Jordan Sitzman, the punter. Here's the boot. Another high spiraling punt. Eiler says he's got it and makes the catch, fair catch. He'll spot it at the 23-yard line.
Cody Eiler sure-handed back there, tracks that one down, coming out of the shadows into the sun as you take a look there. Lights are on here, but still a tricky area of the field to really find that punt up in the air. It's a high driving kick that time.
So the Prairie Wolf offense trying to get something generated here. They're only down 14-0 to Morningside. Under 9.5 minutes left here in the first half. Hopman gives it to Bryant. Bryant around right side. And picked up, tackled at about the 23-yard line.
Cole Boger in there, the tackle. This offensive front for Nebraska Wesleyan, got to give those backs just a little bit of chance to open, find a crease, make something happen. They're dangerous if they can just get a little bit of a lane to run, maybe a cutback spot.
Hopman dropping back on second down, finds Earhart, makes the catch, stumbles out of bounds at the 32-yard line and picks up a first down. By the way, you can watch all of our sports broadcasts here on 21 Sports, courtesy of our YouTube page. Just look us up on YouTube, type in 21 Sports, and then we're also live at the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports website. There you see nwusports.com.
That offensive front, talked about in a little bit. Barteldis, Westfall, Armstrong, Blocker, Byerly. Opening some holes up there.
And now we got flags coming out here. And the line judge throwing the first flag out.
Start on the offense, number 65. It's a 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
It was Jake Barteldis who was guilty of the false start penalty for Wesleyan. So we'll move it back down to the 27-yard line.
His partner over on that left side of the line, Andrew Blocker, the 6'1", 210-pound freshman, getting his second consecutive start over there.
Timeout called. Miscommunication where everybody was supposed to line up.
Their second charge timeout of the half.
Just over 8 minutes left here in this first half. It's 14-0 Morningside. Back with more in a moment on 21 Sports.
Hi, this is Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy. Did you know that proper insulation levels can help reduce your heating and cooling costs? You can check your attic insulation level with this very advanced high-tech tool called a ruler. Make sure you have 14 to 16 inches of insulation for maximum energy efficiency. It'll help reduce drafts and allow your heating and cooling systems to not have to work so hard. Think of it as saving money by the inches, $1, $2, $3, you get the idea. For more ways to save, visit les.com today. See you next time.
Just over 8 minutes remaining here before halftime. It's still 14-0 Morningside leading Nebraska Wesleyan. And a perfect evening for football in Lincoln. 76 degrees was the temperature at kickoff a little more than an hour or so ago. So Wesleyan will work out of the eye with 2 wideouts near side. Bryant goes in motion out of the backfield. Hopman looking to throw. Pass complete to Larson. And takes it ahead past the 35 up to the 38-yard line where he is stopped.
Give Larson a lot of credit on that route. He was supposed to continue going across the field in that drag route. It was thrown a little bit behind him, was able to come back towards the ball, pick up some yards after the catch. Second and manageable here, just 2nd and 4. Good job by Larson, and he was one of the favorite targets of Hopman in that first game against St. Mary. Pleasant surprise, had a touchdown catch that game as well, so see if they use Larson a little bit more.
Here's a toss to Bryant, tries to cut back in through the middle, and go forth, and a few other defenders come over and stop Bryant short of the 40-yard line.
He did good just to get back to the initial line of scrimmage, maybe gain a yard there. Stopped on a dime in the backfield as the penetration came. Was able to scoot over to the left just a tad, but those linebackers from Morningside, Cavilo, Goforth from the safety spot, they're going to come up. You're not going to have a lot of time after that first move to make much happen.
Larson near side along with Earhart. One other to the far side, that's Pieper. Hopman out of the gun. Throws a pass, incomplete to the near side to Dustin Bryant.
Pass was low, a little too far ahead of Bryant. If he can hook up with Bryant there, it's very close to first down yardage. Instead, it's Vandenberg back out to punt once again, be his 4th punt tonight.
Out comes Vandenberg. Here's the snap. And another kick. Goforth gets it at the 22. Almost knocked down by Wardeen. Goforth still on the move and finally tackled from behind. Just across the 40-yard line. It was Clint Baldwin of Nebraska Wesleyan coming in to make the stop. Watch this again.
Yeah, you see Goforth there, that initial hit. Took it, bounced right off up the sideline. It's a nice slide step. Didn't take that contact head on from Wardeen. Comes off maybe. We haven't seen, as we saw him come off. I was looking out on the Nebraska Wesleyan sidelines on offense. I'm not sure if Tyfald isn't a little banged up. I haven't seen him out there in a few plays, and I think it's him with his arm in a sling, so we'll try and check that out at halftime.
Here's Fred Jones with the carry. Jones is finally stopped. His forward progress takes him to the 47-yard line.
His forward progress is going to take a while, too. He's a little bowling ball out there, 5'8", 225. And that 225, by the looks of it, has been a little generous because he is a load out there to bring down. His legs keep it churning, low center of gravity. Have him back in the backfield. They've had other backs that have been dangerous as well. Halverson the first week, they've been out. Now a little motion out of here. Jones still back there, but wow, what a load to bring down.
Play action, pressure on. Nixon in trouble and has to throw it away out of bounds.
Russell Walton, one of the guys bringing pressure that time. Also up there was Tukolsky, Norris High School. Those defensive coaches trying to figure a way to stymie this attack, as they've done a good job of bottling up the rushing game of Morningside. It's been the pass game that's really, and some big plays at that in the pass game. An 82-yarder and a 60-yarder.
142 yards passing in the first quarter.
On 2 plays.
On 2 plays. 82 to Henderson and McCabe for 60.
Again,
another
Russell
pass. Walton coming through that time, big time, with a big play.
And Walton, that's what you get from a leader like that that's out there in your defense. He's trying to get everybody fired up, gets a little touch, forces the punt situation here as he gets the arms up. He isn't going to get there, but great peace of mind to get the arms up, bat it down right at the line of scrimmage, and look at the fire after that. That's one of your leaders right there, trying to get his team fired up, and see if you get Cody Eiler fired up here on a return. It'd be just what the doctor ordered for Wesleyan.
Here's Sitzman's punt. High spiraling boot, takes a bounce at the 10 and goes into the end zone. So an automatic touchback. Prairie Wolves will work with it now. 5.5 minutes remaining. Good point here to talk about is that the Wesleyan defense has been doing a very good job, as we've been talking about, of just trying to hold off that offense from Morningside, and really Morningside has been unable to execute anywhere close to the red zone here in this quarter.
They've had the big plays, but other than that, they haven't done a whole lot. The Wesleyan defense has done their job. They've only let them in there one time. The other one was at the hands of the offense on that turnover. So you can't ask for a lot more out of this Wesleyan D.
Hopman's pass intended for Bryant on the near side of the field, incomplete.
That was a good decision there by Hopman. His receivers were all covered up downfield. Thought he had a chance with Bryant, threw it where only his guy was going to catch it. If not, it was going to go out of bounds. Not really a chance of any interception there. Good play by Hopman, even though it goes down the books as an incompletion.
2nd and 10 coming up here. Hopman will send 2 receivers, make that 3 to the far side, 1 near side. Bryant with him in the backfield. Bryant gets the handoff, going around right side, past the 20, tackled at the 23-yard line.
It just looks like there's going to be some running room for Bryant. And again, this time it was Cavillo just filling. And those little glimpses of daylight where it looks like they're going to scamper free, and they close so fast. This is a great linebacking core for the Mustangs.
So this will be 3rd and 7. Hopman will spread it out over the middle. Earhart complete the 45. And he's finally picked up by Goforth and wrangled down at the 35-yard line of Morningside, and a first down for the Prairie Wolves.
Great job that time, Earhart. A lot of guys out in routes that time. The Mustangs didn't account for everybody. They let Earhart have that seam up the middle of the field into Morningside territory. A big play of their own for the Nebraska Wesleyan offense. Hopefully that's just what they needed to spark this. Goforth has to track him down. Put a little more time on the clock after that play.
I think they were resetting the play clock.
Had a few issues that first game where had to put some time back on the clock here at Able Stadium as well, but they had it all ironed out.
Hopman here on 1st and 10. Far side to Pieper, makes the catch. They'll give him the forward progress to the 27-yard line.
And good arm strength by Hopman that time. Throwing a long way across the field, just a short gainer, but makes it a little more manageable, more your playbook here on 2nd down, and Hopman's looked pretty sharp this drive so far. First quarter, he was 6 of 10.
Yeah.
He had a rough series there in the second quarter to start things off, but looking sharp this drive.
Hopman to Pieper, again inside the 20, and Pieper is tackled at the 15-yard line, and another first down. The passing game more effective on offense here for Wesleyan. And now timeout taken here.
Look at Pieper hauling that one in. It's a great, very crisp route. Morningside wants to talk it over on defense. Brian Pieper, the senior from North Platte, moves the chains, gets them into the red zone. We'll take a timeout here on 21 Sports.
It's just surprising when I walk in how much it feels like home, even though we've only been here a month.
Having a baby is a definite lifestyle change. Grayson's the boss around here.
We moved in 2 days before he was born. Union Bank really helped us. They were so personable. They really got to know our story and care that we needed to get into the house before the baby was born.
We're starting a family and and developing our lives together in a place that we can call home.
So Nebraska Wesleyan moving the ball downfield on a couple of big pass plays. Most recently, Brian Pieper, who was tackled at the 15 of Morningside. So now inside the 20, now in the red zone area is Nebraska Wesleyan. And Nate Hotman perhaps able to work here.
Well, if you're Nebraska Wesleyan right here, one thing you don't want to do is turn the ball over. They had those kind of turnovers against Midland last week where they were ready to score, and then a turnover came.
Screen toss complete to Bryant. Penalty flags come out.
Lots of penalty flags. Probably, I'm guessing, a clip or a chop block. He's in that receiver on maybe.
Holding on the offense, number 26. 10-yard penalty and replay, first down.
That penalty whistled against Brian Pieper.
I knew it was one of the receivers out there trying to get a little room on that screen play. Now they're going to figure out where exactly the spot was and mark it off. So just like that, they get into a red zone. I said you want to avoid a turnover. You also want to avoid those penalties. They come up costly. You're in the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 15. Now you're 1st and 20 all the way back at the 24 or 25-yard line.
So 3.5 minutes to go before halftime. Now another whistle on the field. So we got the officials.
I think they're trying to figure out if they marked that off from the.
Well, the ball is back.
They marked 10 yards off from the line of scrimmage.
And the line was at the 15.
And I think they're talking about was it the spot foul. Should go. We'll sort that all out here.
Please put 3:35 on the game clock.
Our speculation was wrong all the way. It was just let's make sure we get the right amount of time. There we go, 3:35. They went up there, and now the Prairie Wolves can have a had again. 1st and 20 though this time.
Hotman out of the gun. Delbaugh with him in the backfield. They'll send 2 receivers each side. Hotman throws it up in the air. It goes incomplete about a few yards ahead of Jordan Delbaugh, but we got a penalty flag in the backfield.
It's going to be a hold. It was a pretty obvious hold too. You probably saw it as that time. We'll listen in here, referee.
Holding on the offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
It was the left tackle, Barteldis, and he had more than he could handle the entire time on the way around. He had a fistful of jerseys. You see it late there, but even before that.
So it'll be 1st and long.
Delbaugh the intended target that time, and maybe if Hotman has a little more time.
The ball will be spotted at the 36-yard line.
2 big plays. You got all the way down to the 15. Last, haven't even technically ran a play, and now you all the way back at your 36-yard line.
Earhart in motion. Handoff given to Delbaugh. Delbaugh is trapped up and stopped. And about a half a yard loss on that play.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, there's no fooling this defensive front from Morningside and these linebackers. You run misdirection, you try to run it back out of your wing out on a jet sweep. Maybe they're going to him and Delbaugh the other way, but they stay home. They play great position football. They hold down their spot, and they just aren't letting Nebraska Wesleyan get anything going on the ground. Back to the first quarter, they only had 6 yards of rushing, Nebraska Wesleyan. Now, they had a few rushes here, but as you said earlier, it's the passing game that's done the most damage so far. Back-to-back routes earlier.
Hotman looking to throw again here on 2nd and long. Goes to Bryant, catches the ball. No, incomplete.
Brian
so close.
Had that in his hands, and there was a little traffic, but a good ball. I think he was thinking about turning around and running, trying to get that extra yard. Hotman has to go down low in the snap, but looks through his progressions, sees Bryant, goes up through his hands.
To him.
Right through his hands.
Through his hands and off his shoulder pad.
He might have heard the footsteps coming that time as he knew Goforth was closing in on him, and That's always in the back of your head, especially when you're catching one over the middle. But here, Hopman went down low. Good job. Threw his progressions again. Stood in there. Delivered a great ball. Just couldn't hang on to it.
So 3rd and long. Hopman looking to throw. Far side. Delbach catches it inside the 20. Knocked out of bounds. And they will mark him at the 18-yard line.
And Delbach got him into field goal range. And give him credit for hanging on to that ball. Cavill, he came hard and he knocked him out of bounds, but Delbach, the little guy, takes the hit. Again, nice strike by Hopman. We'll check that. That time it looked like it was Hicks.
So Aaron Lorraine will attempt it from the 25, a 35-yard attempt from the far side hash mark. The kick is up, and it is good. So Nebraska Wesleyan breaks the goose egg. They get on the scoreboard here with 1:48 to go before halftime. Morningside 14, Nebraska Wesleyan 3 on 21 Sports.
Dr. R.E. Cycle here with a simple but important message. Recycling starts at home. That's right, it's up to you to take the first step. Setting up a home recycling system is easy, and you don't need much space. Find out how at recycle.lincoln.ne.gov. Recycling is good for our community and our planet, and you don't need to be a genius like me to get started. So do the right thing, the recycle thing.
So a 35-yard field goal from Aaron Lorraine puts Nebraska Wesleyan on the scoreboard, but they trail 14-3 to Morningside, the number 4 team in the country, with 1:48 left here before the end of the first half.
You mentioned it a little bit earlier, Jeff, though the Nebraska Wesleyan defense has, for the most part, done their job. They gave up a few big plays, but they've kept Morningside out of the end zone. You know, the fumble in the end zone resulted in 7 of those points. So really the defense giving up just 7, and good to see Lorraine get that one through. His 3rd field goal made of the season. He was 2 of 5 before that, so good to see him gain some confidence, knock one through, get the Prairie Wolves on the board here. Now the defense has to do their job, keep them out of the end zone here, because don't forget that Morningside will have the football to start the second half of play. So if they punch one in here, come back and get another one, could be a big tide turner.
The kick is picked up by Jake Allen, and he'll return it. And he is tackled around the 32-yard line. And now penalty flags come out.
I'll tell you what, James Hovendick came through there and got a fistful of jersey to slow him down on the return, and that's really what gave his teammates an opportunity. Good job by him breaking the wedge there. Let's listen in.
Personal foul on the kicking team, number 58. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It'll be first down, Morningside.
Well, it's Brandon McGill, the freshman out of Waverly, that's called for the personal foul. So the football for Morningside will be at their own 46-yard line. Watch this again on the replay.
Right there, that hand, though, helped slow him down. And then the extracurricular came right there. 2 hands to the head.
Pass is intercepted by Cody Eiler. And Nixon is picked off, and Cody Eiler with a big defensive play. And the Prairie Wolves get it back at their own 41-yard line.
Eiler goes up and gets this one. And it's the first interception of the season on Nixon, but the senior from O'Neill, Nebraska comes up big as he always seems to. And now with 1 timeout, $1:35, plenty of time here for this Wesleyan offense to the way they moved the ball last drive, plenty of time.
And the way that they're executing the passing offense, yeah, there is time to work with.
At the very least, to get in field goal range again.
So it will be 1st and 10 from the 41. Hopman out of the gun. Dropping back. Larson, it was intended for Larson. It goes incomplete, but almost intercepted by Cole Boger. So Boger almost had a pick right there.
Yeah, they about just traded interceptions because Boger had a pretty easy shot at this one. Had to go down low to make the play, but a little miscommunication there by Hopman and his receiver.
So 2nd and 10 here. The Prairie Wolves heading to the line.
It'll be a little tougher probably to pass the ball here.
Justin Murr, the freshman, out to the near side. Pieper to the far side for the Prairie Wolves. One man in the slot. Looks like that's Earhart. And also Jones in motion. Gets a pitch, cutting around right side. Jones trying to cut back in, but nothing doing. He is quickly wrapped up. 2 guys from Morningside coming over there. Keith Waddle, one of them, and the other one happening to be Logan Gibbs to make the stop.
Clock runs, minute 15 here. 3rd and long. So I was starting to say before that play, it's going to be tough probably here for that passing offense as they're rushing just 3, dropping everybody back in coverage.
Well, now you got 1 timeout to burn. You're down to 1 minute. The play clock at 15, and now they break the huddle. 3rd and 10. Doubles to the near side, one far side. Hopman back to throw. Downfield, up in the air. Pieper catches it. 20, 10, 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan. On a 59-yard toss from Hopman.
Pieper over the top of the coverage that time. And the Prairie Wolf faithful with something to cheer about here with 40 seconds left heading into the halftime break. Take a look at it here. Over the top, safety help was late getting there. Pieper had it beat all the way, and then it's a foot race, and Pieper to the house.
What a catch from Brian Pieper. Out of North Platte St. Pat's High School. Now the point after. Kick is up, and it is good. Kick there that time from Jay Brooks. So with 40 seconds remaining, Nebraska Wesleyan on a 59-yard toss into the end zone for Brian Pieper. They're on the scoreboard still, trailing 14-10 on 21 Sports.
Hi, I'm Fred Olds, president of Nebraska Wesleyan University. This year we mark an important milestone, Nebraska Wesleyan's 125th anniversary. Join us on campus this fall for our anniversary kickoff celebration and homecoming activities. In addition, our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends will collectively take on a challenge to give 12,500 hours of volunteer time to community service. Check our website for event schedules, stories, and photos of today and yesteryear. All of us who share a sense of pride and ownership in Nebraska Wesleyan University have a wonderful opportunity this year to reconnect with friends, students, professors, and staff, and to celebrate all that we have accomplished together. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Well, the crowd excited here at Able Stadium on that 59-yard toss from Nate Hopman to Brian Pieper as Wesleyan now trails 14-10. Here's the kick. And it's Henderson on the return to the far side, and he's finally knocked out of bounds. And a late flag coming out. It will be against Nebraska Wesleyan, and again, Brandon McGill going to be whistled for the late hit.
Yeah, and you could tell that time Henderson was a couple steps into the white.
Hit out of bounds, number 58 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st and 10, Morningside.
Yeah, it's the spin there. How you toss him down after he's already probably 2 or 3 steps out. I know you're giving chase to the ball, and it's a tough spot there, but it's the spin when he throws them down like that. They're going to get you every time. So now with 40 seconds and 1 timeout, already at midfield, Morningside have a field goal kicker that booted a 51-yarder last week. Won't take much to get in range.
Nixon looking to throw, rolling to the near side, passes up, and it is incomplete. Receiver that time, Joel McCabe. It was intended for him, but he may have caught the ball, but it was probably out of bounds as we watch again.
When you see Nixon, he's just fairly elusive back there. He has that threat to take off and run, does a good job avoiding the rush, which came that time, and then good pressure or good coverage as well downfield. But Nixon able to buy time here with 23 seconds left.
2nd and 10, far side. It goes Henderson, makes the catch, and finally knocked out of bounds around the 10-yard line. Hittner over there. It looked like Taylor Gunther was in on the coverage too, and Gunther did all he could to stay on Henderson's tail. And now it's a 1st and goal. It's at the 9-yard line.
It's like the good old days, the Wakefield boys getting together on these here. And Coach Ryan said at GPAC Media Day way back in August, you know what, we're probably going to have to use Colby Henderson a little bit both ways. And haven't seen much of it, only one catch coming in, but he's having a nice night tonight.
1st and goal for the Mustangs at the Wesleyan 9. 15 seconds to go before the end of the half. Got a guy in motion here. Nixon dropping back. Over the middle, broken up in the air, incomplete. Good coverage. Seth Wardeen over there, along with Hittner.
Well, and you said it, good coverage, Jeff. They dropped 7 into coverage that time, just rushed 3. And covered up pretty well inside and out. A little timeout to burn here, so don't be surprised if they throw in sprinkle in maybe a quarterback draw or something like that. Nixon just dangerous enough to maybe get down into that end zone.
2nd and goal here. Nixon looking to throw. Out of trouble. Walton trying to get him. Toss him to the end zone. Touchdown. And it's McCabe in the back of the end zone who makes the catch. And the Mustangs score. And they extend their lead to 20-10 with a point after pending here with just 3 seconds remaining.
This is all Nixon making this happen here. Nearly drugged down from behind, buys time again, and his receiver just didn't quit on him, just kept inching his way over. They're almost in the backfield. And McCabe all alone back there. As once Nixon took off to run, the defense kind of came up a little bit.
The point after is up, and it is good. So it's put it through the uprights from Ty Litzen in 3 seconds to go before the end of the half. 21-10, Morningside on 21 Sports.
Your life is what you make of it. In Lincoln, some are making it fun. Some are making it successful. Others are making it vibrant, refreshing, economical, creative, interesting. They're making Lincoln home. So, make it young. Make it a family. Make it a booming career. Make it whatever makes you happy. Make your life right in Lincoln.
Boy, momentum picked up by Wesleyan all of a sudden. Morningside regained some of it back, and they put up another touchdown. Joel McCabe completes it from 9 yards out, and Morningside ahead 21-10.
Big plays. First half has been a lot of big plays from both teams, whether the big play in the fumble recovery, big pass plays. We've seen 82, 60, 50, or 42, the big gainer, 59-yard touchdown for Wesleyan. So big play is the name of the game here so far for both these squads, is just when it looks like Wesleyan has some real momentum heading into the locker room. They give up that touchdown with 3 seconds left in the half, but Nixon, great back there at the quarterback spot after a couple years off.
Eiler gets it at the 13 on the return. And he's quickly stopped at the 25-yard line. Time will expire. And the first half comes to a close here at Able Stadium. An exciting first half, as we talked about, Lucas. And lots of big plays to talk about. How about the connection from Joel Nixon to Colby Henderson, both teammates coming up big early on. We're at halftime at Able Stadium. Your score is Morningside 21, Nebraska Wesleyan 10 on 21 Sports.
It's just surprising when I walk in how much it feels like home, even though we've only been here a month.
Having a baby is a definite lifestyle change. Grayson's the boss around here.
We moved in 2 days before he was born. Union Bank really helped us. They were so personable. They really got to know our story and care that we needed to get into the house before the baby was born.
We're starting a family and developing our lives together in a place that we can call home.